Day one of the joint practices in the books for the Lions, and they, Detroit, dominant.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Oh, what's happening, everybody? It is a Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today is Wednesday, August the 13th into Thursday, August 14th. Matt Derry with you. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for joining us each and every day. To our everydayers that are out there that watch on Locked On Lions YouTube channel, listen on Apple or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate all of you for checking us out. Tomorrow, the great Mike Sando. That's right. Mike Sando is going to join us from The Athletic. Quarterback tiers are out. I'm actually going to go over the tiers. We're going to talk a little bit about it at the end of the show today and go over where Jared Goff ranks. But we'll get into all of it with Mike Sando tomorrow. It is a tradition every year, quarterback tiers at The Athletic. And Mike Sando, who writes the piece, does all the research, talks to people around the league. He will join us tomorrow right here on Locked On Lions. Today's broadcast of Locked On Lions is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. Shouts to some of our everydayers that are out there. Let's start with the living legend himself, a kid that I've known since he was born, the great Connor Nickel. Yes, Connor has just made the soccer team at his high school. I believe it's JV, but regardless, Drew Nickel, Ash Interactive Zone, his son Connor, great young man. He's been working hard on his soccer, loves Locked On Lions, and he made the team as a freshman. So that's awesome. Lance Meister has reached out. He's one of our everydayers. Thank you, Lance. Our boy Chase Lesage, Harry Booker, Jason Johnson, Russell Metler. Many of you check us out on the Matt Derry Facebook fan page and get the podcast there. We appreciate all of you for listening. All right, we got to talk about day one. Joint practices with the Dolphins is in the books. I'm going to give you an update on Jameson Williams. And for some of you, you are going to be surprised at my take on a situation that took place with Waymo today. Good news on the injury front for the Lions. They got some players back, which is huge today. And then I will give you the quarterback tiers and at least give you the top 10. I'll let you know where Jared Goff is and prep you a little bit, a little appetizer for tomorrow's sesh with the great Mike Sando. But today, look, I'm not going to overrate and I'm not going to overstate and I'm not going to go crazy and I'm not going to dance for you today on August 13th. All right. We still got a month, a little less than a month until the real deal. And the Lions could go to Green Bay on September 7th and lay the biggest egg known to mankind. That's what will count. What they do in the opener at Green Bay, at Curly Lambeau Field at 425. But let me say this about this morning's joint practice with Mike McDaniel's Miami Dolphins. I got a text message from one of my inside guys that works for the team that's on the inside. And I was busy today with work. I was not down there. I was reading about it and I was texting my friend, my one of my sources, and I'm like, how's it going? And he wrote me back one sentence. We kicked their ass. We kicked their ass. Quote, unquote, period. That's it. So obviously, as I've been reading up and I've been talking to some other people about today was a very good day for your Detroit Lions. Now, preseason's been a little bit rocky. There's been injuries. The backup quarterbacks look like they're not very good. Depth issues, the penalties in the Hall of Fame game, the sloppiness, the turnovers, all of those things. All right, I think the Lions do they not have a takeaway in the preseason? I don't think they do. Today, the first team, starters on offense, starters on defense, except for the injured guys, went up against the Dolphins. And yes, Tyreek Hill wasn't out there. Jalen Waddle wasn't out there. Jalen Phillips wasn't out there, at least in the team stuff. So the Dolphins were a little bit understaffed. But still, the Lions kicked Miami in the teeth today. The first string offense was phenomenal today, going up against Miami's defense. And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to hear. All right. The Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown from Jared Goff all day today. St. Brown was abusing Jack Jones, one of the cornerbacks for the Dolphins, and it was ugly. I mean, this was an absolute posterizing all day by St. Brown. And I bring this up and I say that it's important because this is the closest thing we're going to get to a regular season game. This is the closest thing we're going to get to how's the team looking. Is a joint practice, is 7-on-7, some 11-on-11, referees out there. It's hot. I mean, it's humid out there right now. I was at an event today for work, and it was indoors a little bit with a garage, and we were all sweating. But St. Brown today was the man, and Goff had time to throw. Taylor Decker told Dave Burkett of the Free Press after the practice today, this was the best. The offensive line has gelled all camp. So the group up front took care of business. Goff took care of business. Running game was good. St. Brown was doing his thing today. Isaac Tesla was like jaw-jacking at people after making plays. And again, he needs time with Jared Goff in situations like this. And so the offense today did work. And that, to me, is a nice sigh of relief. There are going to be national people. You're going to see stuff on your TikTok, on your Instagram, on your Reels, on Facebook, on social media, wherever you go, Twitter, Blue Sky, wherever. You're going to see a lot of national people that are going to poo-poo your Lions. Oh, I think I like Green Bay this year. Oh, when you get to the top, and you've been up there, and the Lions have been at the top now for the last couple of years. They've won the division. They've won 27 football games in the last 2 years in the regular season. People are going to want to knock them down. Oh, Ben Johnson's gone. That's going to hurt. Oh, Aaron Glenn's gone. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. Ooh, Frank Ragnow, Pro Bowl center, retires. Ooh, I think I'm going to pick Minnesota. I hear JJ looks good, right? Ooh, I like the Bears. Ben Johnson's a genius. Maybe the Bears sneak in there. This is still the Lions division, folks. It's their division to lose. Won it 2 years in a row, and there's still so much talent out there. The Lions today, mollywopped the Dolphins. The offense was phenomenal. Big holes in the run game. Goff clean all day. Mike McDaniel said before practice today, the head coach of the Dolphins, and I happen to be a McDaniel fan. I think he works for one of the worst owners in pro sports. I truly believe that. I don't think Stephen Ross cares about winning at all. I don't know what the direction Chris Grier, Ross, and the Dolphins are going. Are they a rebuild? Are they good? Who knows what they're doing? But McDaniel said one of the reasons why the Dolphins signed up for the joint practices Wednesday and Thursday before Saturday's preseason game was because of the physicality that the Lions play. And they wanted to test themselves out. Well, they got pushed around. The Dolphins got pushed around in a big way. The Lions picked off Zach Wilson 3 times today. Zach Wilson's terrible. I cannot wait to go to Saturday's game and sit at Ford Field and watch the Zach attack and watch the Lions tee off on him. Whiteside, Hallett, and Kennelly, all with interceptions in a 7-on-7 situation today against the Dolphins. So the offense did well. The defense did well. And look, tomorrow could be the opposite. Remember a couple of years ago, the Lions went to Indianapolis and they had a Wednesday and Thursday joint practices. Maybe it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and they got their asses kicked on Tuesday and came back and responded on Wednesday. That could be the case tomorrow. But so far, so good for today in how both units operated with their starters out there. All right. And the Lions still have some guys out. Kirby Joseph wasn't out there. Terrion Arnold wasn't out there, etc. But for the most part, you had a lot of your regulars playing, and that's a great sign. You love to see it. And look, Miami's no good. They're not good. All right. That division is Buffalo's, obviously. Jets feel like they're better. New England knows they're better. If Drake May has any great shakes, and now they've got a real head coach again in New England with Mike Vrabel, maybe the Dolphins finish. Dolphins have some talent. All right. There's skill position talent there. I like some of their draft picks, the guys they got. Chop Robinson from 2 years ago who got hurt today, said he's okay. But the Lions did well today, and that is a great, great sign. All right, coming up next, Jameson Williams got into a fight woo-hoo-hoo, at the end of practice today. What do I think? I'll tell you next. And today we told you Locked On Lions brought to you by FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP shot, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. Take a flyer on the MVP race. I said yesterday, Jahmyr Gibbs for MVP. What if Aiden Hutchinson is so good that people talk about him for MVP? Take a flyer. Do it on FanDuel. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. On a hot and humid Wednesday, we are back with you on Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Don't forget about the Lions squad shows, which now are going on. You find them on our pages and everything else. Jake Riepma, Brad Banta, and the entire crew, Natalie Kerwin, Lions squad shows, some bonus coverage of your team right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And of course, Jake does all the postcasts. Tigers won today, 1-0. Ooh, big 1-0 win over the White Sox. But Jake does the postcast after every Tigers game, etc. Check all that stuff out wherever you get your podcasts, and of course on Locked On Sports Detroit. All right, I know what all of you are thinking. You're tuning in. You're going, here he goes. Matt Derry is going to rip on J-Mo. He's going to rip on Jameson Williams for what took place today at 222 Rodwood Drive. At the end of the practice session today, Jameson Williams was going up in an individual drill against former teammate and now current Dolphins cornerback / safety, Ife Melifonwu. Goff threw incomplete to Williams in the end zone in the final play of practice. Ife and J-Mo had some words. Players from both teams rushed to break up the scuffle as punches were thrown. After practice, Williams was walking off the field and looked at reporters and said, no bad blood, just football. Asked if he had any hostility toward J-Mo, Melifonwu said, nah, bleep, just gets chippy, joint practices, end session. Earlier in practice, Tesla and Jack Jones got into it. I don't like football fights, no matter if it's J-Mo, no matter who it is, because if you're punching with your hand a hard helmet, you could break your hand. Punching somebody that's wearing a helmet and pads, I don't condone for anybody. As far as today, seeing J-Mo exchange some punches, exchange some words with Ife Melifonwu doesn't bother me. You know what that tells me? That tells me that it's hot out. That tells me that they've been working hard. And that tells me that J-Mo is into it. If I'm watching Melifonwu push somebody around, trash talk, and I see J-Mo just walk away, I want to see some fight. Now, in a game, if J-Mo throws a punch in a game, I will rip him to shreds because the flag's coming out. It's dumb. It is stupid in a game to be punching somebody in the helmet or pads. You're only going to hurt your hand, and you're only going to hurt your team with a penalty. End of practice today after a hot day where you've been going at it with one of your former teammates, a little bit of a scuffle, doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. Look at all the joint practices. Jets, Giants had a scuffle. Steelers and Commanders last week, massive fights. Today, for the most part, it was pretty tempered down there. The two teams did work. There's going to be pushing and shoving. It's training camp. These guys don't want to be out there in this heat. And a chance that they get after days upon days of blocking and tackling their teammates, they can't wait to get their hands on somebody else. So no, I'm not going to rip on J-Mo at all for this today. He does it in a game and he gets a 15-yard penalty and it costs his team. You bet I'll rip on him. I'll rip on anybody. St.Brown does it. Montgomery does it. Gibbs does it. Laporta does it. All of them. It's dumb. Today at the end of a practice to get into it with one of your former teammates, little jaw jacking, little punches thrown, it doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. And Jameson Williams afterwards just saying, hey, no bad blood and just football. I like that. J-Mo didn't go into a long rant and tell the media about his former team. No, one about his business. So if you're waiting for me to go on some rant about J-Mo, no, I'm not going to. All right. I think he's going to have a big year and I'm rooting for him. On the injury front today, very good news when it comes to the Lions. 3 players returned to practice that many felt would not be back this week, but now they are. Sione Vaki was out there coming off a hamstring injury that he got on the second day of training camp. It may be a little bit of a while still, but he was at least practicing today. Ahmed Hassanin left Monday's practice, today's Wednesday, with a lower leg injury, but he was back today. That's a good sign. Full practice today for Hassanin. Terrion Arnold was doing individual drills today, coming back from his hamstring injury, which has kept him out about 7 to 10 days now. We have not seen Arnold during the preseason. We've barely seen him during camp after he injured his hamstring early on. But the good news is that he was at least back for some individual work today. Dan Campbell said this morning on Terrion, quote, I don't see TA in these practices. He's getting better and doing more every day, but I don't see him being able to go through these practices. We're going to be shooting for next week, end quote. I like that. I like that a lot. And Arnold told Rachel Hopmeyer of CBS Detroit today that he's going to practice tomorrow, full participation, quote, no ifs, ands, or buts, end quote. So Dan Campbell says we're probably not going to have Terrion Arnold in these joint practices. He says he's going to be out there tomorrow. So you love to see that. And those guys, 2 of those 3 guys, Hassanin and Terrion, are big for this year. Guys that you need. I think Ahmed Hassanin is going to play more than we think. I truly believe that. With the injury history of Marcus Davenport, with just where the Lions are with their edge rushers, this is a guy that I think is going to play more than we think. I'm not saying he's going to be really good. I think as a 6th-round pick, he's a little bit raw, but with the motor and with the way he works, it's hard to keep him off the field. As far as Terrion Arnold goes, we know how valuable he's going to be to that secondary. Lions need him out there. One injury of note today that took place during practice that we'll keep an eye on for tomorrow. Khalif Raymond was walking with a limp as he exited the field today. So we'll see about that. And DiCaprio Boodle, he that has been toasted nonstop the first 2 preseason games, number 17, not out there today. Kirby Joseph, not out there today either. Also Tim Patrick, Dominic Lovett, Tom Kennedy, Tristan Colon, Patrick O'Connor, and of course, Maurice Norris, who's still in concussion protocol. All those guys missed the practice today. So we'll have to see what Dan Campbell says tomorrow about Kirby Joseph. They need him healthy. No question about it. But good news is that the team today dominated, and that's what you need to see. There's going to be a lot of people that doubt this team. There's going to be a lot of people that pick Green Bay. There's going to be people that pick Minnesota. Like I said before, there's some outliers that think somehow the Bears can win the division. I don't see that. I think the Bears are going to be better. I think it's going to take Caleb Williams some time. Lions have a lot of talent. And if they could just stay healthy and the defense can continue to get better. There's guys that are making the jump on defense. I think Hutchinson's getting better, even with the injury. I think Jack Campbell is making a jump. I think a healthy Derek Barnes makes a big difference. I think DJ Reed is an upgrade over Carlton Davis. I think Brian Branch takes a step forward this year, and he's already really good. What if Brian Branch goes from really good to great this year? I think Terrion Arnold's going to get better. He was a rookie a year ago. All right. I'm just excited. All right. Coming up next, let's give you a little preview into our interview tomorrow with Mike Sando. We always like to call it the Flying Zylstra brothers. Shane Zylstra, who caught a couple big catches today. The Flying Sando brothers. Mike Sando is going to join us tomorrow. If you don't subscribe to theathletic.com, you should. It's always good. And we're going to talk to Sando tomorrow, but we'll go over the quarterback tiers a little bit next. Always love talking to you about Yahoo Fantasy. That's where this episode is brought to you by. It's the best time of year. NFL kickoff is almost here. And that means fantasy football season is back in full swing. And this year, Yahoo Fantasy is turning things up with a fantasy football experience like never before. This year, me and Locked On Lions, we're playing on Yahoo Fantasy. You should too, whether you're a first-timer or a veteran making your millionth league. One of the great new features we're going to tell you about is this new Guillotine League. They got that going. They got updates that roll out daily on Yahoo Fantasy. It's all right there for you. And to celebrate 28 years of fantasy football greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days throughout August. To kick it off, they just dropped Yahoo Fantasy Guillotine Leagues. Like I said, a killer new way to play fantasy football on Yahoo, where the lowest scoring team gets eliminated each week until there's one team left standing. The season around the corner, now's the time to get your league together and give this new mode a try. If you're more into the classics, you can still play in head-to-head private leagues or join a public league. Stay tuned for more killer announcements and start playing Yahoo Fantasy Football now at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. All right, so we talked about it earlier. Each and every year, and by the way, I got to do my first time Pro Bowl list. We'll do that too in the next couple of weeks. That's also a tradition. But a tradition as well is having Mike Sando from theathletic.com on this very podcast here on Locked On Lions, because he writes an unbelievable piece every year in the Athletic called the NFL Quarterback Tiers 2025. Sando talks to key players, front office members, franchises, teams. He talks to everybody. And as a panel of experts that he puts together to rate the quarterbacks in the NFL and put them into tiers. So tier 1 quarterbacks, according to Sando and his sources: Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow tied at number 1, Josh Allen 3, Lamar Jackson 4, Matthew Stafford 5. There's only 6. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 quarterbacks in tier 1, and Stafford is one of them. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jackson, and Stafford. Then you've got tier 2. And as Sando writes, a tier 2 quarterback can carry his team sometimes, but not as consistently. He can handle pure passing situations and doses, and or possesses other dimensions that are special enough to elevate him above tier 3. He has a hole or two in his game. Jaden Daniels, number 6, tier 2. Justin Herbert, number 7, tier 2. Number 8, your quarterback here in Detroit, the Lions' own Jared Goff, top 10, number 8. CJ Stroud, number 9, tied with Jalen Hurts. Number 11, Baker Mayfield in tier 2. Dak Prescott, 12 in tier 2. Jordan Love, 13. Brock Purdy, 14. Both of them are in tier 2. Real fast, the tier 3 quarterbacks: Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Bo Nix, Sam Darnold, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins. Tier 4, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy. Ouch. Tier 4 for McCarthy. Daniel Jones, Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson, and Spencer Rattler. And then tier 5 is one guy, Kenny Pickett. Jeez, that's harsh. So what I like about this list is that Jared Goff is getting what he deserves. He's getting his just desserts, putting him in the top 10, putting him at number 8. Remember, he was a MVP finalist last year. Went to the NFL awards as a finalist. Yeah, he finished 5th, but still. And putting him ahead of Jalen Hurts, despite the fact that Jalen Hurts just won the Super Bowl, putting him ahead of Baker Mayfield, despite the fact that Mayfield moves around better, I'm all for it. And I know the Peter Bukowskis of the world and others are going to be, how could you put Jordan Love at number 13? And that's too low. No, I think I agree with a lot of this. And I think Jared Goff being at number 8 is exactly where he deserves to be. I don't think he's as good as Justin Herbert. I think Jaden Daniels is awesome. All right. Stafford, Lamar. I mean, those are big time guys. And CJ Stroud, you can make an argument CJ Stroud over Jared Goff. You can make an argument Jalen Hurts over Jared Goff. You can make an argument Baker Mayfield, but they're not. So Goff getting into the top 10 and being at number 8, I think is extremely accurate. All right. This is a guy that really, really can play when he's protected. And I get it. People will say, Jared Goff's one-dimensional. Jared Goff without Ben Johnson. Let's see how that goes. What if there's pressure in his face? What if there's pressure in anybody's face? Do you ever watch Joe Burrow when his offensive line just completely craps the bed? It's a tough watch. He throws some interceptions. All right. No quarterback is good when that pressure is coming right at him. There are some that are unbelievable in getting away, like a Mahomes, like a Lamar, but those are outliers. Goff in tier 2 at number 8. I endorse. So we'll have more on this tomorrow. We will talk to the author himself, Mike Sando from theathletic.com, right here tomorrow on this very podcast. And we will recap day 2 of the joint practices with the Miami Dolphins tomorrow on the program. Man, we're getting close, folks. We're getting close to September 7th and the Packers and the opener on CBS at 4:25. Primetime game. Cannot wait. And I know fans are excited. They had another great crowd today down at the practice facility there, the Meyer Performance Center. And the team performed well for its fan base. And you guys deserve it, man. This fan base has been through the ringer, and now everybody's so excited for these games, and hope to see a lot of you Saturday when I'm walking through the Ford Field heading to the game. So all good. All right, Lions Dolphins day 2 tomorrow. Mike Sando tomorrow. Thanks for making us your first listen, everybody, and checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Way to go, Connor.